The quantum wellness industry has become a massive multi-million-dollar engine selling high-end biofield workshops and consciousness activation courses to global audiences. Look at figures like Dan Winter and institutions like Fractal University. They draw large, predominantly European crowds to learn implosion physics and sacred geometry, often charging thousands of dollars for a single weekend. But examine the curriculum. The foundation of this modern quantum industry relies directly on ancient African and Mesopotamian frameworks, specifically the Kemetic caduceus and the scientific teachings of Thoth. While these schools adopt the ancient geometry, they omit the primary biological component of the original science. They have effectively erased the specific molecule, melanin, that makes the human body a natural conductor of these forces. This is the final, monetized phase of a documented 400-year-old playbook designed to strip, rename, and sell a profound biological science. To understand what is being sold back to us, we have to bypass the workshop rhetoric and look at the peer-reviewed biophysics of the melanin molecule. This is a molecular model of melanin. In 2012, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences confirmed that melanin is a hybrid electronic protonic conductor, a property that is entirely unique among biological molecules. Melanin does not just sit in the skin as a passive sunscreen. It functions as an active biological conductor, managing the flow of charge through the organism in a way no other molecule can. We see the scale of this energy conversion in the ruins of the Chernobyl nuclear reactor. In 2007, a PLOS One study found that melanized fungi were not only surviving lethal radiation doses, but actually metabolizing that radiation for growth, a process called radiosynthesis. In the human brain, research by Dr. Luigi Zecca establishes neuromelanin as critical infrastructure that manages iron homeostasis and protects neurons by chelating heavy metals. Melanin is a self-healing energy network. A biological system that manages its own repair and energy conversion represents a direct alternative to the pharmaceutical model of chronic disease management. The suppression of this science follows a four-step playbook. The first move is physical destruction. This is the Library of Alexandria. From the burning of these scrolls to the destruction of the 400,000-volume Moorish libraries of Al-Andalus, authorities have systematically targeted the scientific repositories of melanated people for centuries. Move 2 is institutional exclusion. Today, the fire has been replaced by financial starvation. Look at the National Institutes of Health. Federal data published in the journal Science shows that Black investigators are significantly less likely than white peers to receive R01 research funding, even when their training and performance metrics are identical. This funding disparity creates a self-reinforcing knowledge gap. It effectively blocks the researchers most motivated to study melanin from accessing the institutional resources required to validate its advanced properties. Move 3 is terminological appropriation, stripping concepts of their African identity and rebranding them with European names. This is encoded in the language of science. As this chart shows, the word chemistry derives directly from chem, the ancient name for Egypt, meaning the Black Land. The Kemetic Ka, or the vital electromagnetic body, is rebranded as the biohologram. Ma'at becomes phi-ratio wave mechanics. The science remains, but the authors are removed from the record. This rebranding operation peaked in 1938 with Heinrich Himmler's SS Ahnenerbe division, tasked with claiming the world's ancient civilizations as Aryan in origin. This led to the 1939 SS expedition to Lhasa, seen here. Their mission was to claim Tibetan and Dravidian spiritual science traditions with documented African roots and recategorize them as Aryan intellectual property. Whether the name used is vril in 1938 or negentropic charge collapse today, changing the terminology is the primary tool used to make the original biological science invisible. The final move is economic microdosing. Rather than outright censorship, the modern phase uses controlled disclosure. The wellness industry monetizes this science by selling small, non-threatening fractions of it, like sound healing or grounding, to a consumer base that is never told where these practices originated. This creates a market where white certified platforms act as gatekeepers, giving just enough truth to create dependency while withholding the full picture of biological sovereignty. This business model relies on the microdose, selling gate-kept portions of a science that the melanated body already performs at maximum concentration. If this biological birthright were widely acknowledged, the perceived necessity for a $3,000 activation course disappears. The path forward is sovereign, community-funded research. We must bypass the gate-kept academy to replicate the PNAS findings and expand the work on radiosynthesis and neuromelanin. There are immediate steps to reclaiming the science. Solar exposure during low UV hours directly charges the melanin semiconductor network via biophoton absorption. This is documented biophysics, not a product. Supporting this biological function includes practices like grounding for free electron transfer and the consumption of structured water to maintain cellular coherence. Reclaiming this science means moving past the need for validation from institutions that have spent 4 centuries excluding its authors. You have carried the full scientific record of this biological network within you the entire time. You simply haven't been given the receipts until now.